Happiness is daytime and nighttime too. And happiness is anything and anyone at all that's loved by you. What's up, thespians and Broadway fans? Welcome back to my channel, Broadway Blind Guy, with me, Lee. And I just want to say a huge thank you to you guys for helping me get to 200 subscribers. It really means a lot, and it could not have happened without your support. So thank you for being on this journey with me. There's going to be a lot more fun to come in the future. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by as well. And before we begin, please be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and ring that bell for notifications, as it helps me out a great deal. Also, take a moment to check out some of my other videos on this channel. So we made it, guys, to the end of 2020, and what a year it's been. Now, in a normal year, I would take this time to reflect on some of my favorite live experiences from the year in theater. Unfortunately, this has not been a normal year. So instead of reflecting on this year's theatrical experiences, because they're few and far between, I just thought I would take a moment to reflect on some of my favorite theater-going experiences throughout my life and why they impacted me. So here we go. Number one is Annie. I know it's been done a lot, and it can be a little annoying to some people, but for me, Annie was the first full-length musical that I saw at my local community theater. Previous to watching the show, I grew up with the 1982 movie and binge listening to the Broadway soundtrack, but seeing Annie live is an experience I'll never forget, because it was the first time that I saw a whole story being fleshed out on stage with actors portraying these characters, and it was just so much fun. In fact, my experience watching Annie coaxed me into auditioning for my own community theater and getting involved. And from grade school through high school, my community theater was my home. Whether I was ushering, working behind the scenes, or performing on stage, my community theater was my safe haven and a source of strength and joy. Number two was the first national tour of The Secret Garden, the Broadway musical. This was actually the first Broadway caliber show that I saw with my mom, and this illuminated me to just how epic and grandiose a theatrical production can be. I mean, you had sets flying in from the ceiling and just huge pieces of scenery moving on and off stage, and just the caliber of talent that was there, the costumes, the whole production design. I was blown away, and I didn't think that anything like that existed. This also opened my eyes to the fact that people do theater as a profession, and it kind of got my wheels turning to think, do I want to do this as a profession someday? It was just hard to believe that something so fun and so joyful you could get paid for. Number three was Carol Channing in Hello, Dolly. Now, Carol Channing is a comedy icon. And at the time of Hello, Dolly, the 90s revival, she was 74 when I saw this tour. And wow, she still had it. She could sing, she could dance, she had the comedic flair. And on a note of interest, Carol Channing played the role of Dolly over 5,000 times in her career and only missed one performance. Incredible. So this is a production that I will never forget, just for the legend of watching Carol Channing live. And it's unfortunate that she passed away last year in 2019 at the age of 97. But she is someone that is unforgettable, and this production of Hello, Dolly is also unforgettable and just brought so much joy to my life and just made me crave more and more and more. Number four is Beauty and the Beast. Now, to start with, I owe a lot to Disney for introducing me to the idea of what a musical is, how songs can be interwoven into a story to tell it. Thanks to The Little Mermaid in Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin, the animated features. So when I heard that Disney Theatrical was developing Beauty and the Beast for Broadway, I was so excited. I mean, I didn't even have any clue how they were going to do the enchanted objects on stage or Be Our Guest or any of those other epic numbers, even the Beast transformation. So growing up, I was so excited about this show that I would go to the library every week and make photocopies of New York Times ads for the show, or Newsweek, Time, or other magazine articles about Beauty and the Beast. And I compiled them all together and had a shrine to Beauty and the Beast with like all these things on poster boards on my wall. My mom and I actually had a fund to go to New York that I put some of my allowance in, she put some of her paycheck into, and we were planning to go see Beauty and the Beast in New York. However, this was an unfinished dream because she passed away. But fortunately, a family friend flew me over to Seattle to see the first national tour of Beauty and the Beast, and this was a dream fully realized, and it was everything that I hoped it would be. Just the visual effects, the costumes, the spectacle of the show was so mind-blowing to me, and I really felt like I was in heaven. Number 5 is Funny Girl. This is a show that unfortunately is not done very often, and I'm not really sure why. Maybe it's because of the demands of the role of Fanny Brice that the incomparable Barbra Streisand created on Broadway and in the film, and people just don't want to take on that challenge. But this production of Funny Girl I saw at my local professional summer theater, and it was just so much fun. And one of the reasons that I remember is because the actress who played Fanny Brice was a powerhouse performer. And it just made me think that when you see an incredible performance, you never forget it. So that's why Funny Girl sticks with me. And number 6 is this off-Broadway musical called Altar Boys. Now, this is about a Christian boy band who's on their last night of their tour. And I am a big boy band fan, so I saw Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, and 98 Degrees in concert. So maybe I liked the show and it resonated with me because of my affinity and affection for boy bands. But it also had a message of hope and unity that I really needed to hear. You see, at the time, I was in a very dark, depressed place. And Altar Boys, just the energy of the show and just the fun numbers brought so much joy to my life and inspired me to continue picking up my artistic passions and going for it. In fact, this show was in Los Angeles for 2 weeks, and I saw the national tour 3 times within that period because I just couldn't get enough of it. And number 7 is Mary Poppins. I saw Mary Poppins in my first trip to New York. And this was a very magical experience, and I would just call Mary Poppins the epitome of Broadway magic. I mean, you had lavish set design, you have visual effects like Mary Poppins pulling objects out of thin air and they just magically appear, and then you have the incredible choreography, especially during the number of Step in Time, with Bert in the chimney sweeps. The most exhilarating moment is where Bert tap dances up the proscenium and does an upside down tap dance on the ceiling. Wow, I'd never seen anything like that. And I walked away from Mary Poppins thinking, this is why I love theater. This is why I'm pursuing this dream, because of how magical and how compelling and how riveting a production can be. It was truly an experience I'll never forget. So these are just some of the many experiences that I have in my theater-going experience. So take a moment to answer today's question. What is one or maybe a few of your most memorable theater-going experiences and why? Also, I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Keep singing, keep dancing, and keep loving Broadway.